Yeah, welcome to another episode of UFC.net. Still Jimmy and Safa, you're still watching, and this is the review of UFC 121. Lesnar versus Velasquez, and I believe that they having a party down in Mexico, and I actually believe that it's 1 million less Mexicans in America right now because they have crossed over the border down in Mexico to a all-you-can-eat buffet barbecue, drinking Coronas and eating burritos, and hitting a piñata named Brock Lesnar. Very entertaining main event or main card. Diego Sanchez, Paulo Thiago, exciting, and the main event, of course. Brock Lesnar, Shane Carwin, and what did we see? We did see brute strength versus technique. We saw the caveman versus the hunter. We saw the bear versus the wolf. You know, we saw clash of styles. Did Brock Lesnar follow his game plan, or was it a good game plan? Very, very, very interesting main card, and sometimes entertaining. We saw Legends Flame go out. We saw what we did see. We saw Fight of Night, Paulo Thiago, Diego Sanchez. It was like a fight in the favelas, you know. So Paulo Thiago, he's used to that, but this time he was facing a nightmare. Gabriel Gonzaga, I don't know what you were doing, but you look bad. Tito Ortiz, I don't know, man. I don't know. You look good in the first round. Martin Kampman, he showed that how you not should execute a game plan. For example, GSP, when GSP was fighting Dan Hardy, he was taking Dan Hardy down because Dan Hardy is a good striker. Martin Kampman is fighting one of the best BJJ guys in MMA with takedowns and good ground control and good wrestling. He called it American Jiu-jitsu. So when the other guy is totally gassed out, what do? I'm gonna take him down and play guard. And then, come on, Martin. I wanted you to win. You know, he was totally gassed out. You could finish him standing up. You could do whatever. You know, Jake Shield had a bad weight cut, and you saw it. So, let's break down the Lesnar Shane Carwin fight. Blooper. Yeah, no, I said Shane Carwin, and I have said Shane Carwin a lot, but I mean Cain Velasquez, of course. Blooper of the day, sponsored by Tequila Cazadores. All right. Brock Lesnar came out gun blazing, and he wanted to finish the fight in the first round. Because if you're coming out like that, you ain't planning to go a 5-round decision. And he got the takedown, and I was like, oh my god. But Shane Carwin popped right up. Shane Carwin. Cain Velasquez, come on, what's wrong with me? It popped right up and actually took Brock Lesnar down. And then he actually got another takedown. He did the same move, you know, single leg and that toss, but Brock Lesnar grabbed the fence. And Herb Dean, man, I don't like you. He didn't say anything. Watch the replay if you haven't noticed it. But then it was downhill. Maybe it was like Cypress Hill, but they're Cuban. They're not Mexican. Sorry, my bad. G-A-S. Gas. That was Shane Carvin. Cain Velasquez got for days, for weeks. Brock Lesnar got the power, not the gas. And he was gassed in that fight. But one thing, he was gassed, he was backing up. And in that, slugging fest, in that slugfest, Cain Velasquez caught him. And that one was when he was like Humpty Dumpty, like, falling backwards. But the thing is, if he haven't got that, if I haven't tagged him, I believe the fight wouldn't have been stopped. Not in the first round, because he was out of his feet and gassed out. That's like the worst thing that can happen. If you just gassed out, you can like fight it through. But and I actually told you this. Brock Lesnar don't like to get hit, and you saw what happened. He like panicked, and then when they hit the floor, and Cain Velasquez started to ground and pound, it was with method. He planned his punches, not like ah. And you saw what happened, and that cut under the eye. Oh my lord! And then he didn't went for half guard or tried to get guard. Brock Lesnar just did a double answering the phone, and that is what a normal person would do, not an MMA fighter. So Cain Velasquez showed Brock Lesnar's holes in his game, and Cain Velasquez is the more complete fighter. But the thing is, Brock Lesnar would still like beat 98%, 99% of like all the heavyweights in the world. So my question is, do you think Brock Lesnar would beat Fedor? Write a comment. Do you think he would beat Alistair Overeem? Write a comment. That's my question here. Write a comment. So what's up now? Cain Velasquez will fight a guy who is, I believe, got better boxing than Cain Velasquez, and that's Junior Dos Santos. The thing is, he got the upper hand on the wrestling part, but Junior Dos Santos won't gas after 2 minutes. And the thing is, we can actually see Cain Velasquez get knocked out, because if everybody says that you're the best striker in the UFC, yada 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 yada, you can believe the hype, and then you can like waking up like GSP against Matt Serra, and like, what happened? You got caught. So interesting matchup. Is the era of the super wrestler over? Because Brock Lesnar was the super wrestler. Shane Carvin, he's a heavyweight, but he's not a heavyweight. Yeah. So Jake Shields versus Martin Kampmann. I don't think Jake Shields will get a title shot right away, and that weight cut didn't look good. And Martin Kampmann it was a split decision, and Martin Kampmann, if he had a good game plan, he got a unanimous decision. So what's up with Martin? The strange thing is, this card was strange. It was hard to get a prediction. Like, Diego Sanchez looked bad against John Hannaway, and in this bout he actually looked not fat, but he didn't look ripped, but he looked better than ever. And Paulo Thiago, I predicted that Paulo Thiago would win this, and he dominated the first round. Then in the second round it looked good. Then the Nightmare came back, and hey, Diego Sanchez versus Jake Shields, good matchup. Maybe Diego Sanchez can get a title shot in welterweight. Woo! Jacob Tito Ortiz. What can I say, man? Tito Ortiz was one of my favorite fighters before, and it was over 4 years ago. He had a notable win. Matt Hamill, you are somebody now because you beat somebody. So Tito Ortiz, we're actually gonna have a poll on our website. if the UFC should cut Tito Ortiz. www.ufcevent.net. Log on, vote, make your voice heard. Brandon Shaw versus Gabriel Gonzaga. Gabriel Gonzaga, man. I got no comments.